Hello ladies and gents, it's Hagbard Celine here on another beautiful afternoon, and today we're going to have another edition of Regret Roulette. And before you get on my case about me having more than 6 rounds, today's model is a Taurus 617 SS2, and it has 7 rounds, so prepare for the pain. Starting off strong, Nick Cannon says Planned Parenthood is engaging in modern-day eugenics. Nick Cannon spoke out against Planned Parenthood, saying the reproductive health organization promotes population control. Well, it does, to be fair. I don't think that's how he meant it, but I find that his exact quote is amazing. Hillary was sneaking and cheating, Cannon said in the radio interview. Think about the stuff they did with Planned Parenthood and all that type of stuff. That type of stuff is to take our community and forget gentrification. It's real genocide, and it's been like that for years. I love that this is percolating up into mainstream media. Usually when you hear people talking like this, it's insane ideologues or people like Tariq Nasheed, but I think he and Tariq would get along at this point. And here, from NPR's special subsection Code Switch, Race and Identity, Remixed. After election, diversity trainers face a new version of us versus them. Libby Ismail is head of Connecting Cultures, a diversity consulting business in the Washington, D.C. area. She said one of her biggest tasks is to break down any feelings that people are on warring sides. Ismail, who is an Egyptian-American Muslim, that's a lot of titles for one individual to have, isn't it? It's a lot of identities. And of course, her job is to help employees better understand Arab Americans and American Muslims. As usual, if you're any identity other than a white man, you can actually make a career just advocating for your own identity. Isn't that amazing? I can't possibly imagine who could be fucked to read this article. Who gives a shit what struggles diversity trainers are facing in the coming years? Next! And in the first of 2 stories from the Los Angeles Times, we have black film critics predict the end of Oscar So White, and say 2016 is the best year ever for black people in film. Now, that could be argued if it weren't for the fact that their first citations were Ride Along 2, Barbershop The Next Cut, Central Intelligence, and Tyler Perry's Boo, A Madea Halloween. I would say not a single one of those films is likely to come up for an Oscar. And while we're here, let's flip to the section wherein Kanye West remains hospitalized, reportedly not stable enough to go home. So basically, until the Black Illuminati brainwashing gets back into place, he can't be released to the public. And that's it for you, LA Times. And from one of our favorite publications, Heat Street, comes Black Lives Matter salutes Fidel Castro and is grateful that he harbored an FBI most wanted terrorist. Black Lives Matter movement has come out in support of Fidel Castro following his death on Friday, saying they must come to the defense of El Comandante and thanking him for safeguarding Assata Shakur, who's on the FBI's most wanted terrorist list. She's a lovely lady who, as a black revolutionary, also killed a police officer, so it's good that they associate with upstanding individuals. From another one of the upstanding news sources, Vice News, we have an article, Against the Wall. Texas border communities turned out against Trump in record numbers. What will they do now? Well, they can go home. That's one option if they'd like. Amid the divisiveness, a small but strong segment of Brownsville's residents are driven to speak out louder than ever, no matter the risk. Nilda Almadin, an undocumented single mother of 4, who immigrated to South Texas at 17. Yes, a stereotype is protesting in South Texas. What story about identity would be complete without the woke child story? Almadina said her 5-year-old daughter Daisy started crying the morning after the election, pleading her to stay home from school because she thought Almania would be deported that day. She said, "Mommy, you won't be here when I get back." And since then, she always says to me, "Look, Mommy, there's the police." Yes, we understand that you have no problem using your children to attempt to emotionally manipulate people, but unfortunately the technique has been overused. And of course, to wrap everything up, as usual, when a Muslim goes around and commits a terrorist act, the Muslim community is the first people we should ever think of. Muslim community fears backlash over Ohio State attack. Look, I completely understand not wanting to be held accountable for your community's actions, if you will. However, you have to forgive us when we When we see someone commit an act and we find out that their doctrines say do the act, it makes people associate one with the other. I think at this point we all recognize it's not all Muslims, but we also all tend to recognize that the statistics are, well, skewed. Farah says at first he feared for the safety of his friends and fellow students. Then, as more details were confirmed, his fears turned inward. When I first heard that he was Somali, my stomach did fall, he says. Not just because of what happened today, but because of what will happen tomorrow. Yeah, me too. We just keep letting fucking all these Somalis in the country. Well, ladies and gents, that's it for me. It's all I had time for, and all I had the concentration for. So, between the crazy news stories and the craziness in my own life, that's what we're doing. If anyone would be interested in watching me stream video games, please leave a comment in the comment section and let me know, and then subscribe to my Twitch page, because that's probably where I'm going to be spending a significant period of time in the next few weeks. Feel free to toss any suggestions you have for videos or articles for me to read in the comments section. I'll be happy to look at them. And as always, thanks for watching, stay safe, good luck, and goodbye.